We're back in the shop here, just kind of recapping this week, and we're just over in western Minnesota, and typical, Minnesota, there's so many lakes, there's so many small lakes where we're finding anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of ice. And a lot of people were worried about the amount of snow that was on the ice. At least in northern western Minnesota, there was snow on the ice, there was some slush on the ice, but it's really already kind of melted and frozen, so I don't think it's going to really be a factor as far as ice development. And with that being said, we've been just walking out in some of these places, and when you're walking out, early ice panfish especially, you can't go wrong with just picking smaller lakes with smaller basins. And what I mean by that is if you can find a hole or a basin that's maybe 20, 25 feet of water, soft bottom, and especially if these smaller holes or basins are maybe 20 acres or less, a lot of times those are your sweet spots. And what's interesting, and we're really starting to understand this with live sight and Panoptics and active target sonar technology, is that these fish are moving a lot, and a lot of times they're moving from you. And so especially right now when you're by yourself and there's hardly anybody out there, just pick a key area along that basin and just let that flow of fish work you. And we're starting to see that, and we've seen it in years past, where sometimes if you try to chase after these fish, it's like you're chasing ghosts. But if you just settle down into a good hole, and if you don't have anybody around you in that basin, those fish are just swimming in a circle, and you can just pick off fish all day. And so when it comes to bluegills especially, if you just want to catch more fish, or if you just want to go out there and do this, you can't go wrong with just light line, 3-pound test, 3-pound frost monofilament line. Is just a sweet line size that fishes like 2-pound, but it doesn't break as easy. Spooler reel, and this is just that straight drop spring bobber rod that I just love. In my opinion, this is one of the best commercially made, factory made bluegill rods you can find. Just a small drop jig with just a wax worm on there. I've got a Silkie trim down there just for a little bit of added attraction, especially if you lose your bait. And that's the program. And a lot of times these basin fish, they might be running a foot off the bottom. They might be halfway in the water column. A lot of times your crappies will run a little bit higher. But right now, just identify these basins, smaller the better. Identify those holes or basins have that soft flat bottom on your lake map. Go out and fish, and chances are you're gonna be able to find some really nice panfish right now.